the NDC does not want to prosecute. You are being silly. You are not being smart.
Me man, two about Mahama so unko go touch my coin.
Out of West Science Shabium, until finally Kevin Taylor Ababa responded to Captain Smart. Did they be ye concerning Eoco? In fact, concerning oral. In fact, concerning President Mahama. In Ebekaya a few days ago, Captain Smart Ebabonte Babe Fire no church say President Mahama ni oral. Efeli Ghana for and someone mo kan during campaign no and yes adwuma no moaye na Kevin Taylor ba counter the whole situation uti in someone Kevin Taylor kan na say Captain Smart press anka NDC for no be use omutumi e dey intimidate nkrofo because in a normal sense no udi obi kokota untumi nka say enforce fa nipa nintum until say court ebe process case na wie na we ye name say court process no then adjournment ebe now this adjournment case no I think say a few weeks to a month ago nie na Kevin Taylor kasafa won say Ghana justice system no is very poor such a way say case back to midi 2 years e court no mu wie wa abra metima fast track court process no adentin no mu nhwenye ne ye even crown Kevin Taylor Eba fire Chief Justice on this. Emma one forecast say Kevin Taylor mboade na sa results no ebi na abobaba eye Captain Smart ono so akotena TV so and they all fire on Mampeni Mahama. We all know say there are a lot of cases in court. Now cases e court ni na and they say things are not moving on smoothly and then ama slow processes na aba. Na Captain nin some of Abeka and Kevin Taylor Ababa responding to it answer YBT Kevin Taylor no yendi kind in some Captain Smart kind any be there also Mampeni Mahama ekronfo na make or Captain e kind Captain fire Eoco boss in fact fire oral now the NTN common be from
they should publish the document when we are mema when we publish the document I just say Eoco ajiji 600 million because Peter sorry Abraham who catch them say when you 500 million Chesa would you say if ho would you say if Abraham ho would you say if Chu ho would you say if Captain ho would you say if Smith ho and now okay come home and now we 600 million they should publish it. How did you get the money? Because they Sabaria Sika now only me kasa na oji sika film on we jam Chesa also your comfort. So it was John Mahama telling us also you what kind of baby thinking is this? What kind of baby thinking is this? So you are 600 million. You are was it through the court? And now Attorney General negotiation. And now you are near Cromford court nase. Yeah, you must we by Anchuntum. It's really the way we are Bibra. If this is what happened, then the entire administration, you are all thieves. Then you are all thieves. They remind you of where we are tom toffee, at that kind of backo, tom. But we are in this country and glorifying what? Corruption? Oral or anything. $600 million now, and that's cities now. Eoco ajijino. And then I'm publishing. Name and shame. It is part of the fight against corruption. It's a lie. Oral, I could say. Mafia, Kenofriata on them. But I bought Treka, the betum. Added the political actors now more Auditor General's report. Yet your member Quabraniet to be a public accounts committee. Now at home, Toyota Hilux pickup 1,000 Ghana cedis. What Toyota Hilux back 1,000 Ghana. But so big of a cafe to go banner when trade to the Anamaniabre. Mumbodam. Are you guys crazy? What is wrong with you? This is not why we voted for you. This is not why I campaigned for John Mahama. This is rubbish. It doesn't make sense anywhere. There are innocent pregnant women who are dying on the street every day. Innocent retirees who cannot have access to hospital beds. They are dying like an unwanted cockroaches. And we sit in this country, people have squandered several millions and billions of Ghana cedis. Now the finance ministry had the guts to publish whatever page 1, page 3, page 10, about how much has been squandered. But you guys are sitting there unconcerned. You don't care. You are crazy. You are all thieves. What is wrong with you guys? It is a Ghana, yeni America womra, mafia, and the shimmy say, yeni America was Abraham says.
In that of us, money ya this according to Captain Smart, nin some more dibeturia. Inti Captain, nin some more dibeturia na Kevin Taylor babe counter. Chim say Captain Smart sebio or casate so be an nim die a wofem or so ye damp. According to Kevin Taylor, on also any explanation of the buy and no any.
You have to ignore the first ones you started. No. Now every investigation you start a resource, a second audition. Now you need to make sure say they are what starting. We pay attention and deal with them. Then from there we move to the next stage into a case by case. Now somebody will be say and I buy no into 1 year to me prosecute here. You can mention about 10-15 cases and in our course that is going through prosecution. Into how can you say abiding person be prosecution? How can you say abiding person be jail be? Different from say abiding catch or say yemfa obi anko jina court. But as far as case work court, you cannot sit and say abiding person be jail be. The reason why the government is in court or the attorney general is in court is because he wants to prosecute. Now the attorney general goes to court or can ask them na nipa na ne ho aba asem no so ono so be can ask them. Into the question here is the attorney general the one to make sure it's a judgment the judge how the case goes into as far as case in what court there you cannot sit there and say abai we are disappointed abai we person be prosecuted. This government is prosecuting every single day. When you follow the news, people are going to court and coming, but that does not mean says obi court na yenjeli na asamne nkoso. The case is still being prosecuted. It is about we all understand and say court system is slow. But if you want to say attorney general, this government is not doing everything possible to fight corruption, then you are not being fair to the government. Then you are just being emotional. Then you are not being realistic. The government, as we speak today, from 2025, power, they have been putting people in court, and people are still in court, and the government is still fighting to make sure people are prosecuted. The government is making sure, at the end of the day, they will win the cases. In this obig now, catch them say, oh, winning BB, abandoning person be jail. I'm asking you, on what basis now? When Ukacham say abandoning for Bianco Jina quarter and the metawasi, but this government is in court with so many people. The government is in court trying to prosecute people, so you don't have any right to say abai when person be prosecuted. Maybe your pace, how you want people to be jailed, it is not the government you need to blame. You need to blame the court. It is the court that is slowing the cases down. Because attorney general there, anka the yema, anka wachini pa bebregum, waje credit, waje samba, obi abodi ding. But as far as it does not have control in the courtroom, you cannot blame the government and say the government does not want to prosecute. If we have any anger, the anger should be geared towards the judiciary. The judiciary is the one that is very slow. The judiciary, almost any Emma Ibibiate. Into them say, attorney general is not talking. Then I mean, you are crazy. Attorney general does not want to prosecute. Oh, bottom. Attorney general, government 20% will prosecute. You are crazy. Then you don't know the court system. This is not where I'm going to sit and advise you and say, nyabotre. We all want prosecution. But the issue is that attorney general is in court. Different from say Mahama case will be prosecuted. Now, and this is about power. For court. As far as somebody is in court, there's going to be a judgment. Into what mean Tranka said, because the case has not been caught at your pace, because the government is not working, then you are being crazy. Because the case is in court, finality Maya, judge and judge case, Abine is not prosecuted. Then you are being crazy. You need to understand, case or court, it goes through a process. Until we have to ask the court, why is the court delaying? Because the attorney general has done his job. The attorney general also on court. Now the court, does he have control over the case? No. He's also in court like the same person he's prosecuting. So who are we supposed to blame? We need to question the judiciary. Why is the judiciary slow? And to me, I will not entertain that conversation. Me metran power chanka say, oh, where do you name? And this about disappoint, and this about disappoint you be. And this about some catch a Ghana for say about power. They will prosecute. Now, prosecute does not mean or do be a court or so chanipan jail. Court na wo no enyo papa dia a process na obi akom. Everybody needs to have their day in court. Obi a dey asema to subia no sa nipa no e wo so dey or say nipa no eso enya na asem ka. So you cannot sit there and say Kevin Taylor, the NDC does not want to prosecute. You are being silly. You are not being smart. Because when I original court is here and obi do court and the adeche say jeliwa obeka say court has not been fair to you because papa ya man chance manankasa. Oh, papa, you can go court and I did see a jailina. Oh, because the court has not been fair to your father. Oh, because the Ghana we are being selective. The court is there working. The attorney general, ni Eminyanso, Obechinko Fogum, no, so Yakachan, so why the Juma. Do you think he likes it? No. It's me who journalists meet TV, so I say, attorney general, no, the last time I saw Captain Smart vent. And Captain Smart is talking like he has not been to court before. And my own brother, Captain Smart, sometimes you go overboard because, you need to explain to Ghanaians. You need to talk to Ghanaians. You need to educate Ghana for how court processes work. Nobody has control over the court process. So you can't sit on TV or sit on your show and make it look like, say, Attorney General suitor or record or so in your judgment. It does not work like that. As much as we are all frustrated, you need to educate the public. Okay, in Kofojina court, Nkofo are being prosecuted. This is what happens. The people who are being prosecuted, they have their day in court. They also need to speak. So you don't sit on TV and when I see Captain Smart make so much noise and say, Attorney General, no, he's a criminal, I don't trust him. You're not being fair to your listeners. You are misinforming them. You need to let them understand. Because you, Captain Smart, so you also want to go to court. You want to be heard. You want the process to be fair. So why don't you want people to also go through the fair process? Unless you don't want to be rude to yourself. Unless you don't want to be rude to Ghanaians, or there's maybe you are using emotions to speak. I respect your job. I respect your credibility. You have worked hard to this point, and a lot of people respect the job you do. But sometimes we need to put our emotions aside and explain to the people. We should put our emotions aside. A court in Eoco. Until they are proven, say, nobody can sit and say, Attorney General does not want to follow the case. When did you hear Attorney General say, it's a case where I don't want to follow it? I am yet to hear one person come on TV, one journalist to say, Attorney General went to court and said, I don't want to follow this case again. As we speak today, the Attorney General is always in court. The Attorney General is making his case. The lawyers for the defendants are also there. So why do we have to sit here? Now, I want prosecution done. I want people prosecuted. Does it mean I have to come and sit here and attack the Attorney General? Abraham knew how court processes work. Abraham, I know how court processes work. So if I know how court processes work, I cannot be a hypocrite and sit here and say, because I said this before, they have to prosecute, Obianko, I have to come here and speak against the government, speak against the Attorney General, make it look like, say, nobody. You, Captain Smart, you have been to court before. You know how it works. You know that people have to be given their day in court. So what is this issue of the country, the Attorney General, the government? You are silly. It is our job, it is our responsibility as the media to educate the public. In NDC for a campaign, say they will prosecute. So John Mahama and NDC come more power and come back to Ghana for say when we come, we will bring them to NDC headquarters and jail them. Or say we will prosecute. Prosecutorial process means people have to come to court and also make their defense in front of a judge for a decision to be made. It means the government has less power when it comes to the court because the court is an independent body. They also sit, listen, and make judgments. If today say and the case was court na the whole case yentina TV so can say and Attorney General on there I don't trust him, he's a criminal. You might not like his style of prosecution, obia with your pen asem. You might not like the way he goes about his case, obia with your pen asem, but you cannot come to that conclusion that the government is corrupt and that this government does not want to prosecute. When you do that, then you are not being fair to yourself and being fair to the people who are listening to you. With all due respect to you, Captain, and sometimes, I see the way you are so passionate about what you are saying, and I think sometimes you let your emotions take over you. The issues are the issues. We making noise on TV and radio will not push the court because the court needs to look at evidence, deduce everything before they make judgment. If Chairman Wontumi was your father, if Chairman Wontumi was your brother, and he was pushed into jail in 24 hours, you would have come to speak. You would have made noise and said the court and the government and the day the constitution has not been fair to another Ghanaian. So why are we not allowing people to have their day in court? We cannot act as if we say every day is because it's against Chairman Wontumi, it's against Edu Buahin, it's against some people we don't like. Judgment should be today. It doesn't work like that. So with this we are trying to make sure we calibrate the system well. It does not mean people are going to get away with murder. It means the system is going to be rigid, it's going to be solid, it's going to be fluid. At the end of the day, justice will be done. Those who have committed a crime will be forced to serve jail time. That is how you govern. That is how you build a nation. But we don't sit there and scream and scream. Mimi Yama and Kachama want to be them 30 years. But I can't get it like that way because Emra Okronim. because he has a right to a lawyer, because he needs to go to court and also speak. Into Muhammad radio sono, Muhammad TV sono. I know how frustrated you are, but you see, because you don't want people jailed more than the Attorney General. Until we need to sometimes sit back and swallow our emotions a little bit and make the factual statement. Ghana for say okay, because you're creating impression. We say identity of jail. No, case record. You don't determine when the person goes to jail. And you, Captain, you know more than I know. Majority of you people sitting on TV and on radio, you know more than I know. When cases enter court, you don't determine when the case should end. It is the court that determines when the case to end. So what has the Attorney General done? And I'm not saying the Attorney General is doing everything perfect. I wish that the Attorney General would do more than he's doing. But the fact of the case is, who could do court? The Attorney General does not have control over the case. It is the judiciary. It is the court that determines it. We as journalists, we should know more than this. We should be able to educate. As much as I hate Chema Uchiha, na sisi ana yeshe so
odobronyi ni omomogi ka hono ombe antabaina onse councilor lutrod ka say ya me ebe kuma mi akosu ase wane kwama in fact o say the ekoso no ma mi akosu ase wan yehwe na mum na that the luma na fight for the right cause out of all matters day interesting days ahead. For the meantime, na me famu si ana mami whose opinion or comment yeah, the more updates
we need to allow the process to work. If we don't have patience for the process to work, then we start to abuse power. Then we start to do the same thing the Kufuor did. Then we start to look like the NPP. Nobody likes to see criminals work, but we need to also understand. 9/11 America, they have access to lawyers. It should tell you this is a world where people have access to lawyers. They have to make their case. So let's.
In that of was a woody in common senior this according to Kevin Taylor and in some other back in the open mu how things are going. Now of war Kevin Taylor Ababekasa, Captain Ababekasa, me, I don't trust these two journalists. The thing is, once there's something wrong, say court and the friend saying justice system in slower. The first thing they have to do is to work on the justice system. What are you when who say Ghana ha every day he o normal case as a case cry able to me akokote the 10 years. A day move na encrof we ayo madrin so mbeye de fa ho MPP ba sa ni nitua no ma na twem NDC same thing ni nitua na twem ba kwa brochira omutumi fast track case man ye Ghana hadn't into me be. In fact, at this point, all what I can say is you trust our politicians at your own risk because Obia de Nadrin Didi. Obia de Nadrin Didi is just sad and unfortunate. Countries live 50 years. On why a more developed than Yenye nation, Yekikako 70 something years. It's just sad and unfortunate. And out of all, me Kasapi, my memfa see her. Na mami whose opinion or comments ni mu edino Ghana gossips, the more updates, the more gists, eba wakwim.